What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with Sistas Season 9, Episode 14. Pull up on me. Pull up on me. Pull up on me. I'm sorry, y'all. I just think about that little boy that was doing that pull up on me. Pull up on me. I'm sorry. Before I start, y'all, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Y'all make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. All right. So I have opinions. I didn't write down my opinions, but I will express my opinions. All right. As I move along, I just want y'all to know I'm gonna express my opinions. So, y'all, we start with Karen and Aaron. All right. They talk about leaving. Karen, we piggyback off of Karen talking about moving out of Atlanta. He's asking like 1,000 questions. She was like, listen, I'll tell you if you stop asking me all of the questions, we can have the conversation, because he's asking and not giving her a chance to give her answer. So she explains that, she feels like she need a reset, and she believes it's going to help her grow. I feel like that too. I feel like that's absolutely going to help her grow. Aaron thinks that she's running away from her problems. Karen said that she's not, and she's not even sure if it's postpartum depression, but she's actually dealing with it, whether she leave or stay. But the bottom line is Karen wants a fresh start. Aaron thinks that the idea is crazy. He tells her picking up and leaving because she's had a bad year is crazy, and he tells her you can't just make that decision all by yourself. She said that I'm not making a decision by myself. I'm literally having a discussion with you. And so she tells him, she wants them to move, and them, as in him, her, and Faith, and that she wants both of them to raise Faith somewhere new. He tells her, what about the girls? What about your support system, your mom? Everybody's here. And so he thinks that Karen is having a temporary feeling. He asks Karen if the baby that was alive, if Zach's baby was alive and his didn't make it, would she stay? Would she want to leave then? And I felt like that was a valid question. I do feel like Aaron's questions are valid as it relates to Karen and what she's wanting. But I also feel like Aaron is being insensitive to what Karen is going through. And it's like he's just shooting down her ideas like, no, he didn't say no directly, but it's like you're telling her it's crazy thinking for you to think this way. And it's like, yeah, you don't know what people who are dealing with depression, today it might be this and tomorrow it may be that. But I do feel strongly that Karen absolutely wants to leave. A lot has happened over the years as we look at Karen's storyline. So, yeah. And a lot of things that has added to her storyline was Aaron when Aaron came along. So we not going to act like some of his issues didn't become her issues. That's all I'm saying. So Zach visits Fatima at the law office. He tells Fatima, hey, I don't want you to be mad anymore. He doesn't want to be mad anymore. So he takes this moment to extend the olive branch to Fatima. He takes accountability for his actions as he should. She apologizes to Zach, but, she wanted to also respect Karen's wishes. She don't feel like, she was wrong for her saying how she felt as it relates to Zach's baby being unalive. So he tells her, to be honest with you, I was feeling that way too. That's why he was struggling for that long. That's why he was being mean, because he felt bad about feeling the same way Fatima felt. He was just probably frustrated because Fatima said it first. Or not the fact that she said it first, but she said it out loud. And he still wasn't able to say it out loud. So I'm guessing we're now seeing the full disconnect of Karen and Zach. This is a full disconnect from both Karen and Zach. So anyway, we get over to Danny. We see Leonard with a box with his things in it. Apparently, Leonard has been let go of Higher Airline. Okay? Danny laughs at him, and I'm looking like, girl, really? Like, sometimes these unserious moments with Danny aggravate me, but whatever. So, y'all know, of course, Leonard is pissed, but Danny laughs because she was like, you have tried so hard to get me fired, and now you're getting fired, which is crazy, which is crazy work to me, which I do understand why she laughed. But still, but the airline, I guess they're experiencing budget cuts. So that also makes me wonder was Tony's job. If Tony was still there, I believe his job would have been on the line as well. I believe that. I believe that either like Danny, his hours would have been cut, or they probably would have kept Tony, cut his hours, but then they probably would have let Danny go, just with the whole relationship and that policy and all of the things in the lawsuit. So I don't know. These are things that I just think about, y'all. So we see Miss Brown and she walks over to Danny, but then of course it panned off and we get to the bank scene. So Rock is in the line. Y'all see he's clearly looking for Sabrina. He gets in the line and he withdraws $2 from apparently with his $10 he have in his account. Okay. Maurice recognized Rock. Maurice asked, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? And Rock was like, no, nah, you don't know me. Yeah, he know you from jail. It was either Maurice may have given him some sloppy toppy, or he must have been in Maurice's pussy. Okay, I don't know. But the fact remains that Maurice know you from somewhere. All right. So Andy decides to call Sabrina and she wants to talk about Danny and how Danny is angry at her, and called Andy out for the lies. And Andy feels like, she have some nerve calling me about my lies, and we need to check her. So Sabrina actually co-signs for Danny in this moment and asks her, hey, why are you lying? So Andy takes the moment to express to Sabrina why she went to go see, why, she met up with Dr. Vaughn. And that was that on that. Because I think Rock and Maurice walked into to Sabrina's office. So we back over with Karen and Aaron. Karen tells Aaron, she don't know how she would feel if it was Zach's baby that was still alive and baby Faith that wasn't. She said that she wouldn't know how she would feel, but what she would know is co-parenting with Zach would keep her stuck in Atlanta, and she doesn't want to be that. She said it doesn't have her move or anything doesn't have anything to do with Zach. But she does. Those are one of the things she wants to put behind her. So Karen questions Aaron, hey, why would you ask that question? Aaron said he thinks it's a fair question. And so do I. We all want to know, how do you really feel about Zach? What is your stance on all of it? And so Karen tells Aaron, she doesn't want Zach anymore and she loves him. And she is glad that Faith is his father. I think that is something Aaron wanted to hear, and he needed to hear. Y'all, if I'm gonna be completely honest, Aaron has been wanting to be picked by Karen for years. He has always wanted to be picked over Zach for years, and he's now gotten what he wants with a baby. And she actually loved him back. Like, she's not playing games with him. She's not stringing him along like she used to do. which I'm glad that we're not seeing that anymore. I'm glad that their relationship is actually solidified. So Aaron said, he feels that way because Zach just usually spring into action when it comes to Karen. So he lets her know, listen, when he found out you were missing, he just came on over. And I want to say he told Karen that Zach was drunk. But Karen was like, hey, it's I guess it's his. I don't know if it's history or what, but they do care about each other. We cannot not say that they have a love. They have love for one another. Okay, it is what it is. But they're not in love with each other. They just have love for one another based on the relationship that they had. So Karen says to Aaron, losing a baby has changed a lot for her. She wants to leave a lot of things behind, of course, Zach. But not only Zach. Y'all remember Aaron's ex-wife came into Karen's salon and unalived herself. And then her mom blamed Karen for what her daughter did because her daughter was crazy as a Betsy bug. Okay? And then after that happened, the brother-in-law of Aaron came into Karen's house and tried to assault her. And that's when Zach broke, he was there because he got into the tussle with Aaron's ex-wife, brother, and that's when Zach got stabbed. Y'all remember he was stabbed right here, and it's somewhere in his side or something like that. So a lot of this falls on Aaron as well. And not only do she want to leave those things behind, but the stabbing of Gary, all of that, because of course she was questioned. She was big pregnant and questioned about her, if she had anything to do with Gary's stabbing. And then the fire. Y'all know her old salon had caught fire. And not only that, wasn't she caught up in some lawsuit from Gary's ex-wife? Her and all of the other girls. So Karen has been through a lot. And as it relates to the fire, and as she talk about her new salon, she tells Aaron that Aaron tells her, listen, you're only focused on the bad things. But those bad things were enough to say, hey, I need a fresh start. Like, I wasn't mad at it. So Karen lets Aaron know, hey, I don't even care about the shop like that. She said that people are noticing that she's not there. People are noticing that she's not as attentive as she was when it came to that shop. And y'all know she used to be there morning, noon, and night. Okay, she does not care, and so she's okay with leaving that behind. And so I feel like if she's feeling like that, because she can go anywhere to do hair, and I don't know, it's just a lot. It's a lot that she has experienced, even the heartbreak, even the whole and even though she's caused a lot of drama with the whole Zach and Fatima situation, it's still something that has happened with her processing a breakup. So again, her wanting a new start is something I'm really not mad at. So Aaron wanted to know if, once the postpartum, if it doesn't change or if it just goes away, I'm kind of, I want to know if you're going to want to keep packing and moving every time this happens. And again, great points. So I do have questions as it relates to the Karen and Aaron situation. Well, not really Aaron, but when it comes to Karen in this salon, where does that leave Pam? Is Pam gone with her roots to riches, or are they gonna make her a part of this sister circle? What happened? What will be the shift in the group wants Karen go. And is Karen leaving? And if she leaves, is it going to be at the end of this season? Like, I got questions. I have questions as it relates to the whole Karen and all of the things. I for some reason I think Karen's gonna go at the end of the season. I don't know. So we get over to Zach and Fatima. She apologizes about the Chad situation, and she said and we see they're getting in a better space. She said, doing things on her own with all these contracts, working with Hayden pretty much has caused a rift in a relationship between her and Andy. And also it has caused a rift in a relationship between her and Zach. She said she don't like it, and she said none of this is worth me losing my friendship and or my relationship. So Zach tells her, listen, I'm proud of you for, creating your own lane. She said, and he said with the Andy situation, it's only two things that could be happening. She could be scared of losing Fatima, or she's either hating. Okay, again, fracture. Hayden picked up his messy ass, picked up the fracture in a relationship, and then having this discussion with Zach. It's giving that hoe is a hater. Y'all, for real, it is very much giving that damn Andrea Barnes is a hater. She wants people to do better, but just not better than her. Anyway, Fatima tells him that all of this hasn't been smooth, and Zach lets her know, hey, just create boundaries, and or if you don't create boundaries, then we both need to be getting spoiled. You can't be the only one. So if the ninja decide he want to give out one ticket, make sure he give you a second ticket, and make sure both of those tickets are floor seats to one of the games, okay, or a whole season pass for all of the games. So while they're having their conversation, Chaz walks in the office, and of course he's constantly talking smack. Like, I'm looking at Chaz like something is really wrong with him. Like, I'm hoping we don't have another stalkery situation. I don't know, but Chaz is pissing me off, and he can go too. So in the next scene, Rock is in Sabrina's office, and he tells Sabrina that he kind of bent the truth. That's what they call it. Sir, you told this lady you was a doctor, and you are fresh off of cell block D, inmate number 9712568. Okay, that's you. You's a jailbird. Okay, probably trying to find somewhere to lay your head so you can report to your parole officer. I used to work at the parole office. Y'all, shout out to the parole. Okay. I'm just saying, sir. Listen, he said that he was working on his doctorate degree. So Maurice already know he a liar. Lying. You lying just because your eyes open. You just a liar. He just a liar, and I don't understand why we have Sabrina. Why they write Sabrina as a dumbass when it comes to these men. So, what's his name? Maurice asked Rock a simple question. He said, in what field? This fool said, field? I wasn't in a field, I was outside. I wasn't in a field, I was inside. Can we say that we don't even think Rock got his GED? Okay? So what I feel like is going to happen, this little homosexual is going to charm his way into Sabrina's house. And come to think about it, the same way, Danny was a lot less bummier because she had her own place than Rock. Why do y'all have them similar in the begging department, or Rock just seemed like a user, and he's gonna probably take Sabrina for everything she got, and if he does, oh well. So Dr. Vaughn goes to the law office to visit Andy. He brings her a cup of coffee. He's actually flirting with her, and he was like, listen, when can, oh no, not, he's flirting with her. And yes, and she's just accepting a flirtation. But the flowers that Fatima got was alerting to all of the partners. Very alerting. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. So back over to the airport, Danny have a conversation with Miss Brown. And what was aggravating me was every time she was trying to tell Danny what was going on, instead of Danny just taking her lick, she kept cutting her off as if that was going to change things. So Miss Brown just informs Danny that, listen, you're not being fired, but your hours are being reduced, of course, because of the budget cuts. So I actually thought, I will say this, now that we're talking about this, I didn't think she was going to get fired. I actually thought they was going to offer her a promotion. How? Why was I thinking that? I don't know, because you just never know what's going to happen in Tylerland, okay? So I was like, well, maybe. I don't know. So then we get back to the law office. Chaz, Fatima, and Zach. Okay? At the end of the day, after everything is all smoothed over and said and done, Fatima fired Chaz. And he threatened Fatima. And I didn't like that. And she tells him, if you come to my house again, yeah. Y'all know Fatima ain't the one to be tested, okay? She know people. And if he knew what was good for him, he'll stay away. And then here comes Hayden. Like, I really thought that we high-key got rid of Hayden. But he was like, my guy, I don't know, he does a lot of ass kissing. And so homeboy was like, get your old looking ass away from me, yada yada yada. It was funny, but we really just want Chaz to just go, just GTF. All right, like, we need Chaz to GTF because he is doing the most. Okay, so we back over with Karen and Aaron. And Aaron is cool with everything. He's cool with moving, but he was like, where are we going to go? And so Karen was like, I don't know. So I get that. I know that she wants a fresh start. But he was like, you know what, with the market, with the housing market so high and everything that's happening, with the economy, we really need to make a plan before we make such a big move. And so Karen agreed. And I was okay with that. I am just glad to see Aaron on Karen's side and not just flat out say no. I think that this would be good, but I also want to know, how is this transition going to go without Karen? Like, what does that look like? And is she really leaving the show? Or, kind of like Gary, like, are they really leaving the show? Like, I don't know, y'all. Just let me know what y'all think down in the comments, because this is a lot. And what does this mean? Again, as I stated earlier, what does that mean for Pam? Because y'all know Pam has worked for Karen since day one. Like, since we seen her, I want to say in season 1, being nosy little Pam. But y'all know the girls don't really see it for Pam like that. Y'all know they always think that they're a step above Pam. And I guess it would be good to see. Now, I'm not going to hold you. It would be good to see the dynamic, the friendship that we can create with Maurice, Pam, and is it Paige? Paige. Like, even if we don't incorporate Paige in that friendship, it could be Maurice and the Pam duo. Like, I didn't know how much we liked them together, But they are a match made in heaven, just like Maurice and Paige are a match made in heaven that we didn't think that we kind of needed, but we actually needed for some comic relief. So we see in the next scene that Leonard was arrested for, I guess, assaulting the people. And Leonard finds out that Danny has not been fired, but just her hours has been cut. And she's coming to the parking lot because they had to send her home early. Okay? And we see Officer Green. Officer Green was the same officer that was following the report over at Karen's house when they were searching for Karen. And we seen then where he was kind of sweet on Danny, and he's still sweet on Danny. And I just don't want the writers to do the same thing they did the last time. Like she was with Preston. It was like towards the end of their relationship, and then Tony came. I'm sorry, y'all, something in my eye. Tony came. And so when Tony came, it was like Preston was just gone. And now, since we kind of don't have a lot of use for Tony, we can send Tony back with his ex-wife and those badass children. And I just say we can do that because there is no use for Tony. It's like they're repeating that same pattern all over again. It's like I need them to be more original and less borrowy. Okay, if that makes sense. So back with Sabrina. The only thing I can say is Sabrina, let me see how I can put this mildly. What they did and what they did to Andy all of these seasons, making her the ditzy one behind a guy, they're doing the same thing to Sabrina. Maurice lets Sabrina know, you start messing around with Brock, you're going to be heartbroken and pregnant. So y'all, Dylan comes by to bring Maurice his vision board. I don't understand why when Dylan shows up, he has this habit of ignoring Paige. I really don't know what that's about. Are they really as close as she say they are? Or did she even say that? But again, he completely ignores her every time she comes, and so that leaves her feeling away. This is not the first time this happened. I want to say this was like the second or third time. I could be tripping. No, this is the third time. Yes, the third time that this has happened. Every time it's like she has to get his attention. I don't know, it's very weird, y'all. Very, very weird. Anyway, Zach is in the gym. He looks at his phone, sorry y'all, and he was like, let me check this account. And he was like, oh my God, it's racks in it. So it looks as though he's gotten his money returned from the Gary of it all situation, because y'all know Gary stole his money. And so Gary has moved to somewhere in Africa, okay, with his boys. So I'm wondering, did Gary send his money back in good faith? Like, did he really change? We don't care, but did he send his money back? So hopefully they'll explain that next week, right? So Mr. Keys arrived at the gym and he asked Zach, hey, where are you from? He asked Zach, hey, are you from here? And so Zach was like, well, no, we moved around a lot with my mom. So he also asked Zach, what is your last name? And do you know any Taylors? And, he asked Zach, what is his last name? Zach said, my last name is Taylor. He said he knows some Taylors. He asked if he knew someone named Gold. And Zach was like, no, never heard of that name before. So he asked Zach, do you know anybody named Gladys? He was like, yeah, that's my mom's name. So then we find out that Keys and Zach's dad was best friends or are, but I think he said was. Zach said he never knew. He tells Keys that he never knew his dad. And Keys was like, but you look just like your father. Zach tells him, my dad was a deadbeat. And it kind of put Zach, where Zach was really upbeat. Excuse me. All of that, sorry, y'all. All of that has put Zach in such a somber mood. And his whole being changed. So Keys was like, listen, let me take you out for drinks, or let me take you out to lunch, and because I'm sorry for messing up your day. And Zach was like, no, he was good on it, and I think he ended up leaving the gym. So in the next scene, oh wait, before I move forward, let me just say this. I thought, and I still do think, that Keys is his father. I'm wondering if he only said it that way to do a temperature check to see how Zach would handle knowing that, Luke, I am your father. Like, I don't know. Again, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the comments, because that's what it's kind of giving. It's giving that, like, this could be his dad, or he really could be his dad's best friend, and he may have a lot of information on Zach's dad. So we'll see. So Andy and Dr. Vaughn are still in that conference room talking. And so he asks about Karen, and Andy fills him in all of the, all of Karen, the details on Karen and what happened, that they found her. She found a support group, yada, yada, yada. So Dr. Mom was like, listen, I want to see you outside of those work clothes. And she was like, excuse me? Like, girl, never mind. And so he said, I like to eat. And she was like, listen, because I like to be eaten. Okay? She said, you can sop her up with a biscuit. Okay? And so he grabbed her and started kissing her, and she was kissing him. And again, we're back to her under another man. I'm over that. I'm so over that storyline. But this is the little tee-hee-hee and the little issue I have with Andrea. So you tell Fatima that somebody sending her flowers is gonna alert, would send some type of alert to the partners. But you, ma'am, you are a partner and you should be setting an example, but you got some dude kissing all on you in a conference room. How unprofessional is that? How unprofessional is that? Which again lends me to believe that you are jealous of that lady, and you see her in her own lane, and you see like she's doing amazing, and you don't want that for her. And yeah, I can't. And so as all of this is going on, and this bald-headed mama show up, okay? Like, ma'am, who the fuck you? Like, I'm telling y'all right now, the bitch is rude. Sorry about my language, but she gonna piss me off. And every time she on the screen and she pissed me off, she gonna get cussed out. I'm just letting y'all know this right now. Right now. And the episode went off. So we get the clip for next week. Andy's mom tells Fatima, if you don't get your stuff together, my daughter is going to fire you, bitch. Excuse me? Because who you talking to? I'm sorry. This is just a television show. We do not promote violence on this channel. Yes, we do. Anyway, I just want y'all to know this lady gonna PMO and she gonna get cussed out. That just means she gonna piss me off. And this is another thing. The fact that you can tell Fatima that also lets me know that Andy has been talking about Fatima in such a negative way, when we see that Fatima only messed up once or twice or whatever. Never. She's always been, she's always been solid. And it's funny how you can tell your mom all of these things, but did you tell your mom how Fatima has shown up for you over these years? Like, I don't know, but we see where Andy gets her attitude from. She get it from her raggedy ass mama. Okay? So we see Karen's going to get ready to tell her mom about the move. I think her mom is going to be excited. I'm hoping, because y'all know Miss Lisa wasn't always around. She was always on that damn motorbike in the woods and wherever the wind took her. So for Karen, I'm hoping that she's going to be okay with this. All right. So then we see Tony. He talks with Danny about their schmeck's life, and I guess it's a little sour. We'll see. And so Zach tells Fatima he walked in on Andy when she was changing her clothes, and she was like, what? That's finna be a problem. And so we see Andy Fatima getting ready to confront Andy. And even as Andy is sitting there, because it looks like she's sitting there with Sabrina and Danny, because all I saw was curly hair, so I assumed that was Sabrina. And so even as Andy's sitting there and Fatima stands there, she was just like, I'm having lunch. We can talk about this later. Like, she was very off-putting in her attitude towards Fatima. So it's giving, there's this big issue between Fatima and Andy. I don't understand the where, the how. It's like the writers just stuck it in there without no explanation, no nothing. Like, last we know, Fatima put a tracker on your phone so you can be, because she wanted to keep an eye on you because you were a partner. Like, I really don't understand. And not because I don't understand from a space of, this makes no sense. Like, it needs to make sense. We need to find a reason, a why. Why? Is it just because she see Andy working those contracts and this was just like, I'm just jealous, and so I'm just gonna be an asshole moving forward. I don't know, y'all, but this is where the episode ended. I thought it was good. Sorry to be so long-winded, y'all. I just had my points, and I just needed to make my points after each scene. So, y'all know, drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about tonight's episode, about what's going to happen this upcoming episode. Because, baby, we going to tell Hole and Andy mama's ass. Okay? All right, y'all. And the next time I will see y'all also is tomorrow, because The Family Business, the original season 6 return. I've been watching it since season 1. Never missed a season. I love that show. So we're going to be watching that. I'm going to be reviewing that tomorrow, as well as Reasonable Doubt. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yes, so I'll be reviewing both shows tomorrow. I feel like I'm missing something, but I keep thinking about Zatima, but that did go off. Also, let me know how are y'all feeling about me picking up House of Pain, or just maybe talking about key points about the Laura and maybe Calvin situation, or y'all want me to review it, because it's a comedy. I've never done yes, I did. I Moesha and all of those things. Let me know what y'all think. If not, I won't even pick it up. I put it on my community wall, so y'all can either drop it in the comments or go to my community wall and let me know. What do y'all think about me picking up House of Pain? All right. Other than that, that is all I got. And y'all, thank y'all so much. Shout out to all the new subscribers, y'all. Thank you. I am literally 12 away from 600. I promise y'all, I did not think I was even gonna make it this far. I was really going to quit back in May when I was just gonna quit. I had a naysayer and I was going to quit, and I'm glad I didn't. I appreciate y'all. I just appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna always say that. So thank y'all so much. To all the new people, welcome. I really hope y'all like my content. Y'all like me, comment all of the things. I comment on everybody. I talk to everybody. I enjoy it. I appreciate y'all so much. Sorry, I'm getting long-winded. I'm about to cry anyway. I don't want to cry, but I will see. For real, I will see y'all in the next video, and I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, and I will see y'all tomorrow.